Welcome to the Scania Foundry. This is where the heart of a Scania vehicle is created, the cylinder blocks and cylinder heads. Scania produces between 85 and 90,000 engines each year. These are placed in trucks, buses, boats, or prepared for use in industrial machinery, ahead of being delivered to customers around the world. And it's here in the Scania Foundry that the journey begins. 2014 marks 100 years of operation for the foundry. The operation has a long history, says Kent Variklu, a former head of the Scania Foundry who spent 42 years working on the site.
History and the tradition is 100 years old, since 1914, and our focus has always been quality, tensile strength and working environment.
Over its 100 years of operation, there have been significant changes at the foundry. The work here was previously heavy, hard, and relied upon skillful craftsmanship. The moulding sand cores were once put in place with physical force, a process that took 2 hours, and the foundry workers put the finishing touches on the sand moulds by hand. The molten metal was poured manually into the moulds. Protective equipment was far from today's standards. And when it was time to knock the moulding sand out of the cast blocks, it was done with sledgehammers. Today, the cores are assembled by industrial robots in less than 4 minutes. The next step is putting the cores into the moulds and filling them with 300 to 400 kilos of molten steel at a temperature of up to 1,450 degrees Celsius. When the metal is set and cooled, irregularities are removed from the cylinder blocks, which are then covered with a primer. They then leave the foundry and continue into the engine machining workshop. The past 100 years have also seen tremendous advances in material. Grey iron was the most important material throughout the 20th century and was developed using new alloys during this period. In the 21st century, in line with tougher emission standards, primarily in Europe, there has been a considerable focus on engine development.
The engine block that you see here.
Increasingly advanced engines featuring high-pressure injection have meant that the Scania Foundry has started producing the most technically demanding cylinder blocks in compacted graphite iron, or CGI.
When the foundry and the R&D department works together to develop components, we get components that are not only optimized for the service conditions that they are going to withstand, but also optimized regarding the foundry process. And the largest advantage with having our own foundry is, of course, that we can control the quality in all steps of the production process, right from the beginning with the casting of the part until the machining and the final assembly of the engine.
Scania's ongoing work in R&D and commitment to quality mean that the company will continue supplying customers everywhere with solutions that fit their needs. And the foundry will continue to be a key part of this.